Recently, I've been playing Dragon Age Origins over the past few weeks. This is a series that I've been meaning to play and really get involved in. One of my favorite things about the game is that the fact that no matter your origin, you can really decide whatever type of character you want to be. Throughout the course of playing role-playing games my whole entire life, I've come across different types of games, sometimes playing a main character with a rough background, or someone with a small group of friends. What I think Dragon Age Origins does really well as a role-playing game is putting you in the shoes of your main character into this huge grand story where you at the start feel alone and you have your companions. Start with one companion and then you get brought into this whole entire nation of Ferelden and you're there to explore. Then you're introduced to these band of companions, including Alistair, the Grey Warden, Morgan, who is this wild witch of the wilds, and then you also get your own war dog, it seems, which allows you to form bonds, relationships through this system known as the loyalty system. Which, when I first started playing Dragon Age Origins, I had no idea about this loyalty system. I had no idea how it even worked. But after a few episodes, someone really notified me about how everything really worked, which I really appreciate. And it's just something that can be overlooked if you just skip past the tutorials or just click to the side of them. But there are things in the games, especially this first game, that they do say like, hey, this is how this works, or hey, why don't you look at this? And I really do appreciate that the game sort of doesn't really hold your hand too much, but it does sort of explain little tidbits of information that you can give gifts to improve these relationships. Sometimes in video games I see myself sort of solving puzzles by accident, or solving mysteries itself by accident. I noticed with Origins I was stuck on a huge level, whereas I could have figured it out in 5 minutes, or I saw online it took someone else 20 minutes where it took me more than an hour. I think the setting in Dragon Age Origins is by far one of my favorites that I've ever experienced in a video game. Not because of the complicated side characters that you experience, but also because of this thing known as the Blight that you experience. And it's different from the games that I know about of Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition. And I love that each of the games are completely different. You don't play as the same main character, which going into these games I was somewhat anxious about, just because I was worried that I wasn't going to like it as much as Mass Effect, but I ended up liking it just as much, due to the fact that I can roleplay my own type of character that I want to. I can create my own character, meld that character in my head, and create things, things I dislike, things I like, things that character may like, their favorite color. And I like that the fact that each character is different, or say your character the side characters may leave you at some point. I like things like that happening. I think one of the things that this game does really well, another thing I've mentioned, but is the fact that if you have low loyalty with someone and then you say something in the following cutscene, say to win another companion that you have, you just say like, oh, I don't want to help the mages at this time, then she could potentially leave you. That's something that could happen, and it's something that could happen, and has happened in my first playthrough, when I first played the game, when it first launched. Happy that I got into this game now. Since this is my very first review I've ever done of the game, I'll probably rate this on a scale, if we're going on a 1 to 5 scale, probably 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5. I'll be honest. I'll say it's a 4 out of 5 due to the fact that I wish it ran better, but if everything else, in my opinion, was tremendous, amazing, because the story, the setting, the characters, everything felt like very good storytelling, and it felt, it really appealed to me. Like everything was on the brink of destruction, which, if you play the beginning of this game, it was. And there's something with role-playing games, I think at least, you want your main character should experience some sort of traumatic experience, and your main character does. In my opinion, there are two main characters: your main character that you create, and Alistair. I won't say what happens to Alistair, but for those that have played the game, something does. And it's interesting because with this game, you can really decide to make all the decisions. I think that's something amazing. But like I said, I think this is one of the greatest games I've played in such a long time. I'm interested to see where this whole entire series goes. But this has been my whole entire review for Dragon Age Origins, so I'll probably do Dragon Age Origins Awakenings, that DLC review soon. So until next time, I'll catch y'all later.